Well, g'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I hope you're all well out there. We're back, Tottenham Hotspur are back, and it was a midnight kickoff. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a watch along, but I'm glad I did as always. I was pretty tired, I had a few technical issues which I might talk about a little bit later on. I'm currently here in Laidlaw Park, Western Sydney, which has a bad rap from people, but bad rap from snobs really, because I've never had any shit from anyone here. So anyway, the game. Hey, look, we won. Reading 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Look at this beautiful stream here. I can't get it in shot. I'll do one later. Reading 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. First half, a bit ho-hum, bit sort of typical pre-season friendly nothingness. In the first, did I notice anything straight away about the difference between tactics? Not really. It was still 4-3-3. We were still pretty aggressive. Sorry, keep the screen away. We were pretty aggressive. The press wasn't quite as before, but it was more of a creeping tiger in the bushes sort of press. Seemed to take our moments to do it. I think overall though we seemed a little bit sort of tighter. There weren't many sloppy mistakes. You know, the sorts of mistakes that often cost us games and things like that, even against oppositions like Reading. Reading, of course, part of the Reading, Swindon, Slough, West Drayton corridor of CAC, and I used to live in West Drayton, so I'm allowed to say that. But I did have a good time in the Reading Festival one year. Sugar Cubes were playing. I mean, really, as far as slip-ups, Berrival had a little slip-up. Vicario had a moment of hesitation and had to clear the ball, but I mean nothing much. That's the sort of par for the course in any football game really. So the first half it was Kinski in goal. He had a good game. Back four, Pedro Porro, who I didn't recognise. Now I'm having a bit of trouble with this review. I had a bit of trouble doing the watch along because I was watching it on the NAF TV, and some of the players have changed their bloody hair colours and physiques. So Pedro Porro changed his hair colour. Both him and Brennan Johnson look like they've bulked up a little bit, as did Will Lancashire. And Mikey Moore, just a bit thicker set in a good way, more athletic, which is a good sign. Overall, like the fitness seemed to be pretty good amongst the players. There's a couple of exceptions, but I'll write that down to them having international duty. Something just scurried through. What was that? Something just, what the hell's that? Hang on, I'm curious. Something scurrying through the undergrowth there. Might be a snake, I better not poke it. So overall, the fitness was good, apart from Sonny looked a bit buggered. But he's been playing international football, he looked a little bit out of sorts. So back four, and then we had Romero, who had a decent game, although I was getting a bit bored of the old Romero, Bentancur, Danso, Bentancur, Romero. Not so much triangles, more of a sawtooth. But again, nothing to complain about. I like Danso. I think Danso fits in quite well with the whole Romero, Van de Ven. He's become part of that triumvirate, or is it going to be a quadumvirate, as we might talk about when we get to the second half. So that was good. Midfielder Bentancur, Sarr, and Alfie Devine. Now Alfie Devine, I didn't really notice too much. Maybe I just didn't recognise him. So, a couple of people in the chat thought he had a decent enough game, so you know, I'll go by their measure on it. And up front we had Solanke, who didn't get too much of the ball, so we're still playing three up front. You know, a lone centre forward with two wingers, that's what I'm calling them, until Thomas Frank educates me further on his nuances. With Brennan Johnson, and Mikey Moore. Now Mikey Moore had a fairly quiet game until like he had a really good 15-minute spell. Maybe he's just finding his legs a little bit or something, but then he really turned it on a bit. So that was pretty good from Mikey Moore, always running in towards goal. As far as the whole tactics, like I said, I didn't really notice that much difference. One thing I did notice was that Destiny Doggy was quite progressive up the pitch, even in the phases of play where Reading had the ball. He was still almost immediately when we get the ball, he was near the halfway line, very advanced up the pitch. So that for me I quite liked. I'm not going to even talk about inversion and all that sort of bullshit. Football's football. I went through that yesterday. Fullbacks have been doing that since a fullback was invented. So the first half ended 0-0. Bit typical pre-season friendly. I don't know when we last had like a real rip-roaring pre-season friendly at Spurs. I like the programme we've got, as I've been saying, Reading, Luton, then it builds up towards the Super Cup where we smash PSG. That'd be nice. Then the second half, so it was 0-0 at the end of the first half. Second half, the old A-team, B-team syndrome, I'm not sure. I think it's a bit more mixed up than that. But then I got excited. I was excited to see the boys run out and play. I haven't seen them for a while. But Mohamed Kudus, first time seeing him, had a really good game. Really looked feisty, dangerous. Did a good assist, very good assist for, well, we'll get on to him, Luka Vuskovic. Luka Vuskovic, man. What a player. What a debut. And yeah, you can only read so much into it being Reading, but I can read more in it because he's playing for Croatia and they're no slouch. I mean, what? At one point they were ranked number 2 in the world, something like that. Got to a couple of World Cup finals at the expense of England in one of them, I think. And yeah, Vuskovic, man, big, huge, monster, tall beast of a man, and did a great, not quite goal line clearance, but a great shot block. And also had an assist himself for Will Lancashire, and I like Will Lancashire, man. I was surprised we let him go out on loan last year. Maybe it's done him some good. I suppose that's the theory. But he looks like a proper centre forward to me, and he did it again. So ball comes across. Mohamed very intelligently heads the ball back across the goal. Or towards the far post of the goal where Lancashire beats his man. Nice little striker's goal with his head. Brilliant goal. And then, of course, Vuskovic again. This time the assist was from, I think, Mohamed Kudus. And it was a well-taken strike. I don't think that's his strongest foot. Strike outside the box. Bang! Pick that one out, keeper. So Vuskovic, man, so that's why I say quadumvirate in defence, centre-backs. Given the state we were in 3 seasons ago with centre-backs crying out for them, we seem to have a nice little assembly line going at the moment. We've got the experience of Romero and Danso, and we've got Von der Ven, who's a year older and wiser, and Vuskovic, who looks like he's going to be a real force to be reckoned with before long, if not now. In midfield in the second half we had Berival, a couple of other players. We had Basuma. Basuma did well. Berival, yeah, not up to speed yet, but he'll get there. There was another midfielder as well who, I don't know, was it Donnelly, someone like that? I don't know. There's a couple of players I wouldn't have minded seeing that didn't get a run on. That was Yang. And up front in the second half, well, there was Lancashire, Kudus and Sun. Sun did look a bit out of sorts, a bit sort of knackered or something like that. He came back to training later than the rest of the squad. I think he's only been back a few days because he'd arranged with the club to come back late. I think he was in Korea or something like that. Family business, which is fine. He's a captain. He lifted a trophy. He can do what the bloody hell he wants, as far as I'm concerned. So. I mean, overall, I can't complain. It was a clean sheet. Thomas Frank, after the game, seemed to be pretty happy. He seems to be happy all the bloody time, though, doesn't he? Didn't really single players out, but he was specifically asked about Vuskovic and Kudus, and so he gave them a nice rap. So even though it wasn't the most, I'd say, exciting, dynamic display, it was pretty steady, pretty steady. It wasn't a case of us, you know, cocking up passes and just being a bit arse. Reading, I don't think were really in the game. It was playing in pretty good spirit, apart from Reading's number 20, whoever that is. He needs a bit of a slap, a bit of a talking to, because he took out both Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro went down, and I thought, oh no, Pedro Porro, you didn't get injured once last year. Don't do it in pre-season. Well, it wasn't his fault. And he also took out, who else did he try and have a go at? Was it Van der Ven? Don't know. Van der Ven was good in the second half. Vicario was good in the second half. Just a little one jittery moment, but that's what happens in football. He dealt with it, and good couple of saves as well. Now the stats of the match, and this is why stats are absolute bullshit. I think the stats said something like we had 13 shots and Reading had 12 or something like that. I don't know what they qualify as a shot. I really don't, because I didn't see that. But I was a bit tired. I had a full day at work, and I was going to maybe have 3 hours kip, but I thought I'd get some of my videos ready. I've got a little intro to when I do watch-alongs, and the thing that really annoyed me yesterday, any content creators or people that do any video editing, be very, very careful about using subscription-based software. I was using CapCut, which I was paying for. It started off at $8 a month, then it became $12. And then yesterday I discovered that every feature I'd used is now in the new premium $30 a month tier. And my tier doesn't get me shit. It basically gets me doing videos without a watermark. So that was really annoying, because it basically means all the assets I've created are completely fucking useless now. I can't use them because I can't edit and save them without splashing out extra money. So just a little word of warning out there. I'm going to be using more of DaVinci Resolve, which I've got on my PC, and I'll probably be using VN on the phone, or Lumiere, something like that. But I want to get software that I buy outright, subscription software. You just don't know when it's going to sting you. It's like the whole Netflix thing, isn't it? Starts off at like $5, and then bit by bit it's, oh, so you want to watch that on more than one device, do you? Oh, well, cha-ching. Oh, you want to watch it in high definition, do you? Dear, oh dear, we got your number. And before you know it, you're paying $50 a month or something ridiculous. So that was really, really bloody annoying, actually. But thanks to everyone who joined me for the watch along last night. It was nice to for us all to welcome the Lily Whites back onto the pitch, or the Lily Blacks. Very confusing. No names on the back of the shirts. I don't know if they've got them to the printer yet or something like that. Maybe Daniel Levy hasn't paid his bill, or I don't know what's going on there. Or maybe we're taking the Danny Blanche for our approach. He was asked, I don't know which team we're playing, it might have been Leeds United, something like that. He was asked by some dignitary, how come they have their names on the back of their shirts and you don't? And Danny Blanchflower said, well, we know who each other is. Something like that, anyway. So overall, look, nice to see the game. The game, although I sound like I'm disparaging, it did fly by, which in my mind is the sign that it was a good game in some respect. Maybe I was excited to see them back. But some definite positive signs. Jed Spence, I think, also looked good as well. No one had a real stinker. Like I say, I think it looks like Son was a bit knackered, but he's just getting back up to speed. There was no one that had a clanger. It was pretty steady. So we've got one week to go till Luton. Bit of a step up in calibre. That's all right. We'll smash them. We're going to be getting better as well. So I'm not going to be scared of bloody Luton. Anything else happened in the game that was mysterious? It was nice actually to see a game without VAR. That was really quite. You know, I don't care if the referee gets decisions wrong. It just, it just makes the game flow. You get a proper spectacle, I think, instead of all this stop-start for the sake of accuracy, which I don't care about at all, really. If you get a duff refereeing decision, well, you've got 90 minutes to win a game, haven't you? And if you get something going against you, well, you've got to go and do it again. Anyway, till next time, folks, I'll just say peace and love, folks. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.